My name is Steve Klein, and I'm a local resident here in Yale. And I've known Carlos and Nora for the better part of a quarter of a century. And I've been very honored that Carlos asked me to make the introductions today on his behalf. We go back, as I said, over 25 years. Right across the street over here in this building is where I first met them when they had a business here in a bookstore that they had just across the street. So we kind of come full circle, and of course in the local school that we had. So what has brought me here in particular is that Carlos is a member of a men's chat group that we have here in town on Friday afternoon. And I have become, as all of our group members have, very touched to hear about the love that this man had for Nora and has, and about his experiences and memories all these years that he's shared with us. It's been a very touching thing to be a part of his life these last few months. So I'm very honored to be here today because this is a celebration of life. This is a way to honor a woman that touched all of our lives, which is why we are here. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my colleague, Miceal, and he's going to give his impression of Nora and share with you all a very touching memory. Miceal.
Good evening, everybody. Wonderful to see you all here, even though it's a sad occasion for us all. Back on March the 18th last, we had the beautiful ceremony at RC of scattering Nora's ashes in the majestic woods surrounding our school. Under the inspiration and the guidance of J.C. Knight, the custom has arisen of students who want to having the ability to scatter their ashes in that forest. And I want to pay tribute to Steve Klein, who is now, oh, there he is, not vanished, because he is the one who has orchestrated it and crafted it to the beautiful form in which it is now. And I have seen myself personally how much of a healing occurs to members of the family when they come to lay the ashes of their beloved ones in that sacred place. So we had that just on the 18th of March. Now, as the age-old storytellers used to say, long, long ago there was a beautiful young lady of Irish descent, and a handsome young man with a tan in navy uniform. That's Nora's phrase, not mine. And when they met, a fairy tale romance began. And on this day, 56 years ago, they were married. Now, Nora was born in an Irish community, albeit in Scotland, in the little town of Lochee, in eastern Scotland, site of the biggest jute-producing factory in the world. She grew up in an area that was basically a transplant of Ireland, a neighbourhood of narrow streets and warm people, almost all of them of Irish descent. The people who knew why they were here and lived life accordingly. It was a neighbourhood that was steeped, I would say, in what you would probably best call a legitimate pride about an historic and a noble past, in the love of culture and of the ancient Irish language and its symbols and meaning, which were the love of Nora's life. It was a culture never ignorant of meaningful history or devoid of ideas. It was a culture that made even the smallest things have enormous significance, and the largest things appeared small, especially if there were difficulties. These were the qualities in Nora's life that attracted Carlos, I'm told. And indeed, these are the very same qualities which we find so outstanding in Carlos himself. So they were well matched. And Carlos's family, as I'm sure you all know, has very deep roots in Connecticut. On his mother's side, Carlos's family goes back to Henry Chamberlain, the great adventurer, who landed in the great whaling port of New London, Connecticut in 1706. Nora had always been fascinated by the belief that we are all one, that we are all part of an all-loving, intelligent, all-wise whole. That we are part of a divinity that supersedes all lack, all pain, and limitation. It's all about becoming again what we already are. We are the dreamers on an adventure. It is no wonder that she found her way, along with Carlos here, to the wonderful teachings of Rabbi Emmanuel. The love and respect in which Nora and Carlos were held by this community, so many close friends and acquaintances, is amply testified by you all gathered here in the community center today. Nora is with us. We know she is with us. We send her our love and gratitude, and to Carlos himself, for all that both of you, especially both of you combined, contributed to your family, to your community, and to your friends that are really beyond number. I'm sure no sound is more evocative of Scotland and its rich lore and its history than the bagpipes. And we're honored now to have some beautiful bagpipe music played in Nora's honor. Some historians believe that the bagpipes go back to the height of ancient Egypt and were brought to Scotland by the invading Roman legions. Others maintain the instrument was brought over the water from Ireland by marauding Scots tribes. And indeed, some nasty person years ago maintained that it was the Irish who invented the bagpipes, and they gave them to the Scots as a joke, but the Scots never got the joke. Anyway, in any event, whatever the truth may lie, we are honored and delighted to have them play here today. So we're leading on the 56th anniversary of the wedding of Nora and Carlos, a tantalizing date of the eve of American Independence Day. What an appropriate day to keep the memory of a great, giant, loving, and independent woman who has left such a wonderful legacy to her son. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Nora.